His luck finally ran out. Eartha Brute, the fatal Finn, stalked up to the lake, drained it, and carried the innocent monster away as the lads and lassies of the land lamented his loss. Here's Eartha Brute. What she lacks in brain power, she makes up in muscle mass.
Eartha, those Acme agents are hot on your trail. You have to move fast.
Oh, great. I'm hauling around a 5-ton sea monster, and you expect fast.
Calm yourself, Eartha. I have it all planned. Head for a landlocked country in South America. A henchman will meet you on its border with Peru. You can hide Nessie from Acme in one of the world's highest lakes. It's called Titicaca.
Titty what?
Lake Titicaca. Now go.
Almighty miss this morning when Eartha Brute, common steroidal strong woman, hoisted Gibraltar's rock onto her massive shoulders and then just hauled it off. All right.
Hey, Carmen, the British Navy didn't want to lose the rock, but the American Navy didn't want to buy it. What gives?
Who knows? Probably budget cutbacks. Look, you can't hang around there. I'm sending you to South America.
Oh, come on. You know I'm not good with foreign languages.
Don't worry, Bruce Brain. You'll go to the only country on the continent where English is the official language. Try Georgetown, the capital. It's below sea level and protected by dikes. So be careful when you put down that rock.
I'm on my way.
Gumshoe, Carmen double-crossed me, so I'm gonna get even. Look for her in Europe.
By dawn's early light, Eartha, that bulldozing brute, blew in from Beijing, rolled up the wall, and carried it away. She plans to use it as a running track. This is Eartha Brute. All body, no brain. The dinosaur of womanhood. The Brute scaled Lady Liberty and toppled her torch. She plans to use it as a symbol of her Brute Olympics, her savage version of the Olympiad, which includes such games as the Bronathlon, the car put, and the fur vault. Now, keep your eyes peeled for Eartha Brute, an underdeveloped mind trapped in an overdeveloped body.
I still can't find a stadium big enough to hold my games.
Take the torch to one of my favorite capitals in Eastern Europe, home to great writers like Kafka, great composers like Dvorak, great...
Carmen, what about my games?
Yes, your games. Well, the world's largest open stadium is located there. And while you're at it, try to hire Martina Navratilova. She was born in this city.
Who's she?
The tennis champion, one of the biggest money winners in women's sports. Don't you read the paper?
From two Acme celebnit agents who aren't afraid of Eartha. Watch.
Douse.
Good day.
That means hi.
And good day.
In the country where you want to go.
It's made up of over 400 islands in the North and Baltic Seas.
Its capital is Copenhagen.
I hope you get there on Queen Margret's birthday. When that happens, there's no school. All right.
All right.
This was rising off the water. Eartha, the brazen brute, scaled the tower, cut the cables, collapsed the bridge, and carried it away. Tourists will be disappointed. Drivers will be dropping off cliffs. Here's the story on Eartha Brute. She's nothing but a big, bad bully.
This bridge is getting heavy, Carmen.
Quit your whining. Those Acme snoops are onto you. Head for a group of Danish islands in the North Atlantic.
But I'm hungry.
Well, you're in luck. These islands are a major whaling center. There'll be enough whale meat and blubber to satisfy even you.
Blubber? Delish!
Those gumshoes are gonna make a meal out of you if you don't get going.
Morning, under the cover of water, Eartha, the bilious brute, slipped onto the scene, swam into the icy depths, and scooped the channel right from the channel. Here's the info on Eartha Brute. She's not real brainy, but she's extra brawny.
This tunnel is getting kinda heavy, Carmen.
Quit whining, musclehead. Park the tunnel behind a group of islands west of Portugal. They're in the North Atlantic.
But I'm hungry, and you know how I get when I'm hungry.
They have plenty of peixe there. That's fish.
I hate fish.
And I hate brawny, clueless crooks who spend their lives complaining. Now move it, lady.
Stood proud and tall for 100 years. But last evening, under the cover of darkness, Eartha Brute, the bulldozing bimbo, snuck into town and snatched the monument while the nation slept. The only witness to her crime was the man in the moon, and he's not talking. Now, here's the lowdown on Eartha Brute. When she's not pumping iron, she's pounding heads.
This thing's getting awful heavy.
Quit your belly aching. Acme's closing in on you. Take the monument to Monument Valley and hide it behind a butte.
But
Not butte, butte. It's a giant rock formation. You'll find it in a southwestern state near the Four Corners. Butte, you brute.
The thief was that muscle-bound monster, Eartha Brute. She marched right up to the Coliseum in broad daylight, flexed her bicep, picked it up as if it were light as a feather, and walked off with it. Now, here's the poop on Eartha Brute. First, she's big. Second, she's huge. Third, she is immense. So you better outthink her because you can't overpower her.
Carmen, they almost caught me. I had to wrestle 2 elephants and a wildebeest to create a diversion.
She's it, Eartha. Head for Bogota. I have a safe house near there on a coffee plantation.
Where's Bogota?
Where'd you learn geography? Bogota's smack in the middle of the northern Andes. Just tell them you're una amiga especial de Carmen.
But I have no idea what that means.
They'll know what it means. Now, Amstray.
Such long fangs that experts believe that it's descended from the prehistoric saber-toothed tiger. Now, unlike other big cats, clouded leopards can't roar. And when Eartha Brute nabbed him, the hound didn't even meow.
Eartha Brute, Eartha Brute.
Eartha, those 3 gumshoes are on your tail. Take the cat to a city in Southeast Asia called Bangkok. Pass yourself off as a boxing pro.
But I hate boxing, Carmen. It's so dainty.
Thai boxing is different. It's vicious. There are hardly any rules, and they stir up the audience with wild music.
Sounds like my kind of fun.
Until yesterday, when Eartha Brute took Tokyo by surprise and swiped the stadium. They'll be weeping in their wasabi. Here's the profile on Eartha. She has overdeveloped biceps and an underdeveloped brain.
Acme's on to you, Eartha. Head for northwestern South America and stop in the Avenue of the Volcanoes. You can hide the dome in the crater of Cotopaxi. It's one of the highest active volcanoes in the world.
Great! I haven't been lava diving in ages.
The volcano is near the capital city of Quito, which is just off the equator.
Ooh, nice and warm. I'll wear my polka dot bikini.
Just don't get caught or you'll be wearing stripes.
Hello?
This is Eartha Brute calling. All I do here in jail is split rugs. I've never been so happy in all my life. Bring Carmen over to share in the fun. You'll find her in Asia.
But today, Eartha Brute removed the rest of it. Carmen's burly bruiserette snatched up the Great Pyramid of Khufu and barreled on down the Nile. Eartha.
Eartha Brute, Eartha Brute.
She's too heavy for sumo wrestling, too tall for basketball, and too stupid for anything else.
Gee, you're mad at Carmen. She's out there running around having fun while I'm stuck in jail. You'll find her in the United States.
When irresistible force meets immovable object, something's gotta give. What gave? The bell at the base. Eartha Brute broke in and stole the far bell. The file on Eartha.
Eartha Brute, Eartha Brute.
A tall, troublesome tower whose belfry is bereft of brains. And here's what we...
I have this ringing in my ears, Carmen. I can't figure it out.
It's the bell, Clapperhead. Acme can hear it, too. Disguise yourself as a bull and head for the bull ring at Campo Pequeño. It's in a port city on Europe's Atlantic coast.
What if some matador comes after me with a sword?
First of all, in this country, they don't kill bulls at bullfights.
Good. I can't stand blood, especially my own.
And secondly, the matador isn't the main bullfighter. The real star is the cavalero, who fights the bull on horseback.
Me versus a guy on a horse? No problem. I'll clobber him.
Till yesterday, when Eartha Brute flounced into Florida, raided the ridge, and grabbed the grove. Your mission, Gumshoe. Bring in the brute on Eartha.
Eartha Brutes. Eartha Brutes.
She's stronger than Schwarzenegger, meaner than a mongoose, and dumber than Dacron. And
Carmen, I just had 117 gallons of orange juice. I'm getting kind of gassy.
And Acme's been following your charming noises all around the world, so lay off the citrus. Head for a peninsula between the Strait of Malacca and the South China Sea. Oranges have been growing there for nearly 20 million years.
They must be pretty rotten by now.
Just like the pulp in your brain. Hide in the Batu Caves outside Kuala Lumpur, one of the capital cities. Those limestone caves are so deep, even Acme won't be able to hear you.
Okay, excuse me. I'm on my way.
Eartha Brute, driving her customized Brute Haul truck, four-wheeled it up the Andes, packed up the Peruvian city, and drove it away. Profile on Eartha.
Eartha Brutes. Eartha Brutes.
As a baby, she teethed on a manhole cover and shook a 2-ton barbell as a rabbit.
Hey, Carmen, those Acme guys are closing in. Where should I stash Michi Pichi?
That's Machu Picchu, Eartha. Take it to a country where everyone celebrates the New Year and their birthday on a holiday called Tet.
Yeah, but Machu Picchu is pretty big. Where am I gonna hide it?
Earth to Eartha, it's Machu Picchu. Take it to Hanoi. It's the oldest capital in Southeast Asia. You can hide it in one of the city's 12 beautiful lakes.
Are those lakes deep enough to hide Mongo Pongo?
Machu Picchu, brute brain. Machu Picchu. Now get off the phone and go.
Oakmont has been home base for this famous traveling puppet theater company for over 20 years. Now watch the circus, eat the bread, and this is Eartha Brute, Carmen Sandiego's brawny, brawling burglaress.
Eartha Brutes.
Gone. Because Eartha barreled up Bear Run, admired the architecture, and bolted with the building, waterfall, and all. Gumshoes. It's a fright when might takes right.
Hey, Carmen, I turned this house into a mobile home.
Good, because it's time for you to roll. Head for a ridge of mountains along the Poland-Slovakia border. In World War II, the Soviets marched through passes in these mountains and defeated the German army. They're also famous as the setting for Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Jeez, Carmen, I hope the place isn't crawling with vampires.
Don't worry, vampires can't suck blood out of cartoon characters.
Can't argue with that. Uh-oh. If Carmen finds out I'm in jail again, I'll get fired for sure. Sure. Do me a favor and don't mention that you caught me when you're chasing her through South America.
This is Eartha Brute, Carmen Sandiego's glowering tower of dour power.
Eartha Brutes.
The loot, repelled down El Capitan, then lugged it away. You've got to bust that repellent repeller, Gumshoes. It's up to you to solve Yosemite Calamity.
Acme's on to you. Quick, what's your location?
Gee, Carmen, this sign says I'm in K-A-B-U-L. Cable. Hey, is this where they make those cable TV shows?
It's not Cable, brute brain. It's Kabul, an Asian capital city.
You know, I always wanted to have my own show on cable.
If you get caught, you'll have your own cell in prison. Clear out of Kabul and head through the Khyber Pass into Pakistan.
Think of it, Carmen. I could host a morning show. I'll call it Live with Regis and Eartha Brutes. Oh, that Regis is such a hunk.
Eartha might enter the city at Egmore Railway Station, one of 2 main stations in Madras. And this is Eartha Brute, Carmen Sandiego's darling of devious deltoid devastation.
Eartha Brutes.
Or they did until today, when Eartha Brute bibbed up, then bopped off with all the cheesesteaks in town. Stop her before she eats the whole haul for breakfast. Gumshoes, it's your job to solve the cheesesteak brute quake.
Eartha, I'm sending you to Lilongwe, an African capital. But first, get some new clothes.
But Carmen, I like what I'm wearing. It shows my muscles.
Well, this is a very modest country. Women can't wear shorts or pants. They're against the law.
Oh, sure. And the guys get to wear what they want?
Nope. Long hair that touches the collar is against the law. So are bell-bottom trousers.
Gee, then I guess I gotta go shopping. There just isn't much selection in a size 82 petite, you know.
Or Old Town, a remnant of the medieval town Stockholm once was. There are many restaurants here, so scour the scene for those steaks. And this is Eartha Brutes, that brainless bruiser from Carmen's barge full of burglars.
Eartha Brutes.
Because today, Eartha Brutes, cruising through Copenhagen, trucked into Tivoli. The brass band's bumper cars and bright lights all beckoned to her, so she burgled the whole batch. Gumshoes, you've got to relieve this Tivoli misery.
Those Acme agents are closing in. Head for a historical city in Japan.
A hysterical city, Carmen? Why are they so upset?
I said historical city, Eartha. No one's upset. There are hundreds of shrines there, and millions of Japanese tourists visit every year.
Jeez, they come all the way from Japan? The place must be really special.
Earth to Eartha. This place is in Japan. Now just get going to Honshu Island.
Carmen, have you been under a lot of stress lately?
Just get going.
A fine eating establishment sure to attract that beefy bruiser. Then, and this is Eartha Brutes, Carmen Sandiego's unbrainy barrel of burglarizing brawn.
Eartha Brutes.
Till today, when Eartha Brutes chugged through Chichicastenango, loped across the lake, and absconded with Atitlan. Gumshoes, you've got to return Atitlan to Atitlan. Bust Eartha and Carmen and wrap up today's case. Can't help falling in lava.
Take the volcano to the lowest point on Earth.
You mean my sock drawer?
No, it's a lake on the Israel-Jordan border. It's farther below sea level than anywhere else on land.
A lake? Oh, goody! I'll bring my inflatable alligator, Jonathan.
You won't need Jonathan. The water's so salty here, swimmers float on top. In biblical times, it was called Yam HaMelach, the Salt Sea.
Salt Sea? Hey, I'll build a pretzel factory next to it.
You have such a twisted mind.
And this is Eartha Brutes, that mega-muscled maker of mayhem from Carmen's gang of goons.
Eartha Brutes.
But it was uprooted today when Eartha Brutes, driving her fearsome fungus fetcher, plowed into the forest and took every last tentacle. Gumshoe, you've got to unearth Eartha, re-earth that fungus, and answer the question, where's that humongous fungus among us?
Carmen, this fungus makes a great pet. It comes when I call it. Here, fungi.
Don't get too attached to it. Take the fungus to the country in the Balkan Peninsula where the legend of Dracula was born.
Wasn't Dracula from Pennsylvania?
No, that's Transylvania, a region in this country. I just hope you can haul that organism over the Carpathian Mountains.
No problem. Uh-oh, gotta go. I just found out fungi isn't paper trained.
This is Eartha Brutes,
Eartha Brutes.
a Herculean hooligan who hauls heistables for Carmen Sandiego. But the only sale at Goom today was a huge 5-finger discount. Eartha Brutes, bored with her wardrobe of just one bodysuit, went on a shoplifting spree. That burly burglar marched into Moscow, then strutted out with the store. Gumshoes tracked down Eartha in today's caper. Goom clues for Gumshoes.
Acme's on you like a wetsuit, Brute. Duck for cover in a North Atlantic Sea. It stretches from Bermuda almost to the Virgin Islands. How am I supposed to hide in a sea? Hold my breath? This sea is covered with weird seaweed that floats on air pockets that look like grapes. Try using those pockets to breathe, but be careful. It's said many ships have sailed into the weeds and never sailed out.
Oh, I got a feeling this won't be fun.
You want fun? Work for Disney. We've got crimes to do. Now get going.
Stop by Elephant Hall at the University of Nebraska State Museum. The elephants here are...
Prison gym is terrible.
horrible. I can only bench press 1,000 pounds. Make Carmen bring me more weights. You'll find her in North America.
Daniel, you...
Eartha Brutes.
Her eyes are shifty. She can bench press 850. Athenians looking skyward yelled, "It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Eartha in a chariot." No, it's not a myth, gumshoes. That goddess of greed zoomed in, zapped the Acropolis, then zipped it away. And the gods will be crazy if it's not put back, gumshoes. Only you can end the Acropolis topple fuss.
Settle down Africa's 4th largest river. It flows between Zambia and Zimbabwe, then on to Mozambique. Gee, Carmen, that's a lot of miles and a lot of seas. When missionary explorer David Livingstone traveled the river in the mid-1800s, he thought it would bring trade and commerce to the heart of Africa. Oh, sure, just another guy looking to cash in on a discovery. Actually, Eartha, Livingstone hoped legitimate commerce would save Africans from the slave trade. Can you imagine? He really cared. Gee, caring for others. What a weird concept.
Okay.
Eartha Brutes.
Pecks of steel this gal can tussle, and she's got a brain of muscle. When Eartha Brute journeyed to Japan and set her sights on sumo, she waited till the crowds went home, crept back into the arena, then, with a mighty heave-ho, she hoisted the sumo ring and hauled it away. Now she's planning a Sumo Mania special on pay-per-view. Gumshoes, I'm counting on you to solve today's case. Wrestle Rustler.
Head for a state that borders Michigan and Lake Michigan. It's home to speed skating champ Dan Jansen. Oh, I used to love him on Miami Vice. When did he start speed skating? Not Don Johnson, Dan Jansen. He won an Olympic gold medal for speed skating in 1994. Skating? You know I can't skate, Carmen. I have weak ankles. Then take a tip from Jansen. It took more than 10 years and 5 tries before he won the gold. Dan kept falling, but every time he got up, kept skating, and finally it paid off. Now what can you learn from his story? Is this a test, Carmen? Oh, you know I don't test well. I thought maybe I'd take some classes while I was in jail, but the warden says they don't have a nursery school. I need Carmen to help me, but she's in Europe. Go get her.
Eartha Brutes.
She can tear you limb from limb thanks to her membership at World Gym. When Eartha Brute unearthed herself in Iran, she perused Persepolis, then proceeded to heist horses, filch the freezes, and generally left no stone unstolen. What she'll do to get friends is really a crime. Gumshoes, repossess Persepolis and crack today's caper, the Persian Incursion.
Eartha, head for a town in central England. It's home to an animal hospital called St. Tiggywinkles. St. Piggy Tinkles? No, Tiggywinkles. It's named for the hedgehog in Beatrix Potter's story, The Tale of Mrs. Tiggywinkle. Wiggy Pickle was a veg-hog? I said hedgehog. It's a mammal that looks like a small porcupine. St. Tiggywinkles treats all kinds of critters, but especially lots of hedgehogs. Sick ones are fed a diet of pulverized puppy chow and dried insects. Hey, that's what I eat for breakfast!
Beautiful Brooklyn Bridge. More than a century old, this span connects Brooklyn with Manhattan Island. It can support pedestrians, cars, and trucks, but not Eartha Brute. If you're looking for brains, you won't find a trace. Between her 2 ears is a wide open space. Seeing dinosaurs in their natural habitat almost brings these long-dead creatures back to life. Or it did, until today. Oh, no. When Eartha Brute clomped into Calgary in her cave gal vest. She then proceeded to poach the bark of every prehistoric beast. And she probably still hasn't noticed that they aren't real. Gumshoes, I'm counting on you to crack today's case. Tyrannosaurus wrecked.
Eartha, hole up in the hole. It's a deep cavern reached only by sea on the island of Muckleflugga. Mucky Flu-Hoo? Muckleflugga. It's part of an island group and is the northernmost island in Great Britain. But be careful. With 170-mile-per-hour winds, the seas can get pretty rough. Carmen, that's perfect surfing. You're either very stupid or very brave. But I guess if the famous little ponies from these islands can take the winds, then you'll manage too. Oh, Carmen, can I ride the little ponies, please? I said they could stand the force of the wind, not the strain of your bulk.
It's where young people train to become future leaders of our nation, and where Eartha comes to find guys who are as pumped up as she is.
Eartha Brute.
She dreams of love, but even Cupid couldn't find someone quite as stupid. When Eartha Brute copped a copter and parachuted down onto Manhattan like a big piece of bad news. She scooped up the skyscraper, shook it up and down, and giggled like an idiot. Then stomped out of town. Now, it's up to you, Gumshoes, to wrap up today's case. Hall of the Roman Empire.
Eartha, head for the plains of a landlocked country and hide out with the local shepherds. They're called Gulya. Great! I can build my biceps with a little sheep lifting. And you can bulk up on the shepherd's dish called goulash, or goulash as we know it. It's become the national delicacy. Delicacy? Is that like dainty? You know, I don't eat nothing where I have to raise my pinky. Eartha, it's a rich, spicy stew made with meat and onions and lots of paprika. The only thing you'll have to raise is a spoon. Oh, do I really have to use a spoon, Carmen?